Would you believe me if I told you that a simple air rifle could take down a deer or even an alligator? Stay with me, because today you're going to discover how AirForce Airguns went from being backyard quiet toys to creating some of the most powerful air rifles in the world. And trust me, what you'll see at the end will completely change the way you look at airguns. Our story begins in the mid-90s in Fort Worth, Texas. AirForce Airguns was founded with a bold vision: to make air rifles that were lightweight, accurate, and above all, modular. That means shooters could swap barrels, change calibers, and tune power levels, all without buying an entirely new rifle. From their very first model, the Talon, released in 1999, to the legendary Texan big bores, AirForce has redefined what an air rifle can do. In this video, we'll explore how the company grew, the technology behind its rifles, the challenges it faced, and why their guns have even influenced state hunting laws. And make sure to watch till the end. We'll reveal the future of the PCP airgun market and why AirForce might be standing on the edge of something huge. It all started with simplicity. Unlike many competitors that went for flashy designs, AirForce focused on reliability. Think of it like comparing a rugged pickup truck to a luxury sports car. The sports car might look fancy, but when you need something that just works day in and day out, you'll go for the truck. The Talon SS, introduced in 2001, was a game changer. It had a shorter barrel inside a longer frame, which suppressed the sound. That's why many called it backyard quiet. In fact, the US Department of Agriculture adopted it for pest elimination, a government seal of approval that cemented its credibility. And then came the Condor in 2004. With a heavier hammer, a larger valve, and a longer barrel, it pushed power levels into territory most shooters thought impossible for an airgun. At the time, it was marketed as the most powerful mass-produced .22 caliber airgun. But here's the twist: power was only part of the story. What really set AirForce apart was how its modular platform let shooters customize everything. And this idea would fuel their success for the next 2 decades. To understand AirForce's rise, we need to look at the bigger picture, the PCP Revolution. PCP stands for Pre-Charged Pneumatic. Instead of relying on springs, these rifles are powered by high-pressure air tanks. The result? No heavy recoil, smoother shots, and the ability to push pellets to extreme velocities. Spring piston rifles, while classic, kick so hard that you often need special scopes just to handle the shock. PCP rifles, by contrast, let you shoot more accurately and with more consistency. And AirForce capitalized on this shift perfectly. Their rifles, like the Condor and later the Texan, didn't just ride the PCP wave, they shaped it. Imagine this: the Condor in .25 caliber easily reaching over 100 foot-pounds of energy. That's more than triple what many spring piston rifles can achieve. So the question becomes, how far could this technology really go? Well, AirForce had an answer: go big or go home. And then came the rifle that changed everything: the Texan. Released as AirForce's flagship big bore, the Texan was no ordinary airgun. We're talking about calibers ranging from .257 up to ½ an inch. The .510 Texan was advertised to deliver over 600 foot-pounds of energy. To put that in perspective, that's not backyard plinking anymore. That's hunting-level power. Hunters quickly realized that the Texan could ethically and humanely take down deer, hogs, and even larger game. In fact, its performance was so groundbreaking that it directly influenced hunting regulations in Texas. Lawmakers adjusted rules to allow PCP airguns for medium and large game, provided they met specific caliber and energy thresholds. The Texan, of course, fit the bill perfectly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The Texan didn't just follow the law, it helped write it. But even the most powerful rifles face one big challenge: air. Unlike spring piston rifles that only need a break barrel cock, PCP airguns require high-pressure air fills, up to 3,000 pounds per square inch. And here's the problem: getting that air into your rifle isn't always easy. Using a hand pump can take over 400 strokes just to get a full fill. One user even joked it could cause a stroke from the effort. Now, imagine you're a hunter out in the field. The last thing you want is to spend half your time pumping instead of shooting. This issue is often called the last mile problem. Getting the air you need, conveniently and reliably. The solution? Portable compressors and carbon fiber tanks. Market demand for these accessories is growing rapidly, and companies that innovate here could completely reshape the user experience. AirForce has already started experimenting with lighter carbon fiber cylinders on some rifles, but the next big step could be branded compressors or strategic partnerships. Retention phrase, and this isn't just about convenience, it's about survival for the PCP market. Because without solving the air problem, even the most powerful rifle becomes just a very expensive paperweight. So what do shooters really think of AirForce rifles? Overall, the sentiment is strong. Many describe shooting an AirForce gun as bringing childlike excitement and pure joy. The quiet Talon SS, for example, is loved for its crisp two-stage trigger, while the Texan is praised for raw, uncompromising power. But not everything is perfect. Some users complain about the price, calling models like the Escape hefty at around $700. Others point to the air filling struggle as a major barrier for beginners. And then, of course, there's competition. The Benjamin Marauder remains a favorite entry-level rifle. The Swedish-made FX Impact dominates the high-tech market with innovations like slug shooting, and Umarex's Gauntlet delivers near-premium performance at a budget price. So where does AirForce stand? They've carved out a unique identity, the American utility platform. Rugged, modular, and powerful. Not always flashy, but reliable, like that trusty pickup we mentioned earlier. And the truth is, that identity might just be their greatest strength in a crowded market. Here's something most people don't realize. Rifles like the Texan didn't just adapt to hunting laws. They actually changed them. In Texas, regulations now allow the use of PCP rifles for hunting big game, so long as they shoot at least a .30 caliber projectile weighing over 1/150 grains, with more than 215 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The Texan series checks all those boxes, and then some. Missouri requires a minimum of .40 caliber for deer hunting, which again aligns perfectly with Texan models in .457 and .510. Even Florida has opened the door to PCP hunting for deer and wild turkey. This is a powerful reminder. The technology and the law are locked in a constant dance. AirForce innovates, legislators respond, and the hunting landscape evolves. Few companies can claim that their products literally shaped state hunting policies, but AirForce can. And that brings us to the million-dollar question. Where is all this heading next? The airgun market is booming. Analysts project nearly 8% compound annual growth through 2029. What's driving it? Three major forces: the explosion of e-commerce, the influence of social media, and a renewed global interest in hunting and outdoor sports. But accessories might be the real goldmine. Demand for PCP compressors spikes every hunting season, and shooters are willing to pay for convenience. Whoever solves the last-mile air problem wins not just customers, but loyalty. AirForce also faces challenges: price inconsistencies across retailers, limited visibility compared to European brands like FX, and tariffs that could affect imported components. But with their strong American-made identity and a loyal fan base, they're positioned to remain a cornerstone of the PCP revolution. So, will AirForce double down on its rugged utility platform or step into the spotlight with more aggressive innovation and marketing? That answer could define the next decade of PCP rifles. Today, we've seen how AirForce Airguns grew from a Texas startup into a brand that redefined the very limits of air rifle power. From the quiet Talon SS to the beastly Texan series, their rifles are more than just tools. They're a statement of innovation, durability, and American engineering. We've learned how technology, community, and even legislation have all shaped their journey. And perhaps most importantly, we've seen how one company can inspire a market shift that shows no signs of slowing down. So here's my challenge to you. Do you think AirForce will remain the rugged workhorse of the PCP world? Or will they push into the high-tech future, like FX? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and check out our other breakdown on the history of PCP technology. Because remember, the next shot you take might just change the way you think about airguns forever.